Hello, my name is Jack and I've just got back from travelling Southeast Asia for 5 whole months, and what a great experience it was. It was such a pleasure to see that side of the world, the different countries, cultures, and certainly indulging in their beautiful and delicious food. It was simply sensational and I can't believe how quickly it really went. The 8 countries I went to were Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia and South Korea. And they were all truly amazing for such different reasons. But for this video, I'm just going to say about the things that surprised me and the things that I got taught on my travels when going through all of these different countries. First off, the scenery and the activities you do there are simply amazing, and it's so hard to tell the difference between the countries you go to. Beaches are simply stunning, the water is so warm, it's so inviting, it is just beautiful. Back in the UK, we don't have the best of seas. I'd say we'd have nice beaches, but the water isn't that appealing, to be fair. Normally brown and very cold, but in Southeast Asia, the water was just so nice. After a day doing whatever you're doing, hiking, going around an island, seeing temples, indulging in the food, go to the sea, see the sunset, go for a paddle, bliss. Just truly bliss. Going on from the hiking, saw some absolutely beautiful view out points from all the different countries. Either if you hiked up to the top of a mountain or you got the moped up, which I preferred because it was a lot easier, and you could just see over the whole city, the beach, the towns, wherever you were, and it was simply remarkable. Normally it was quite hot and humid, so it always added to it, but even if it wasn't and it's overcast, the views were still simply sensational. Videos and pictures really do not do it justice. I would say one of the best view out points I had during the whole 5 months was in Nong Khiao in Laos, a couple of hours north of Luang Prabang. I've already done a video of Laos, so I'll put that in the link below if you want to watch that later. But the view of Nong Khiao after doing a 2-hour hike to get to the top, rather hot, rather sweaty, but it was certainly worth it because the view down over the town and the mountainside in the background was remarkable. If you scratched your eyes, you still wouldn't believe just how stunning and beautiful this truly was. I would say in the Philippines and in Indonesia, they take the gold medal because the beaches there were simply remarkable. It was something from a picture or from a film because you could really not believe just how stunning it was. The island life when out there really blew me away. That was one of the things that I really did enjoy because all your worries just go away. They just melt away with the food that you have, with the sun beaming down on you, there's beautiful surroundings. There really wasn't a stress in the world, and it was really lovely to be involved in that and go to different islands to see how different people lived. And point number 2 that I'd go on to is the locals. The locals were so friendly. They really didn't come from a lot, but they were just so helpful, and they just really wanted to interact with you for a minute or for a couple of minutes and have a proper conversation about where you've been, where you're going, how much you like their local area. And they were just so friendly. They were always smiling, and even though they didn't have a lot, they seemed like the happiest people in the world. They really truly did, because they were always just smiling. They were surrounded by friends and family. They just couldn't be happier, and it was so brilliant to see. How can you be upset around that? It was just amazing to see. They were so friendly, and I think they appreciated it when you try to speak their local language. When speaking someone else's language, they really appreciate it. As Nelson Mandela said, if you speak to them in your language, it goes to their ears, but if you speak to them in their language, it goes to their heart. And I really think that is true. So I tried to make the effort, messed up a lot of times, over and over, but I finally got there in the end with some sayings. Not a lot, not fluent by any means in any of the countries I've visited, but it was truly just great to see their reaction and to really appreciate that you're trying to learn and speak even a couple words of their language. Point number 3 is the hostels and transportation. The hostels were so cheap. Hostel World will be your best friend when booking them because it's just so easy. On the phone you go through all the different hostels in the area you want to stay, and has prices, reviews and star ratings. So you can choose one if you want to be in just a female dorm only, just for females obviously, and if you want to go in a 4-person mixed dorm, an 8-person mixed dorm, a 16-person mixed dorm. Don't get me wrong, in some hostels you had some snorers, you had some people doing some inappropriate things, but I think that was always going to happen, especially going away for 5 months. Thankfully, didn't happen too much, but that is just a warning for people who are going out to Southeast Asia, or just any hostel really, anywhere in the world, because those 2 things do happen. Another great feature about Hostel World group chat, especially for the solo travelers out there, is that it's so easy to meet different people. If you don't want to be interactive or social verbally or in person, you can just go on Hostel World group chat, and wherever you book your hostel, you'll get added to the location group chat and normally to the hostel group chat. So you can interact with people and say if you want to go for some drinks, some food, activities, or anything else in between. And it's just so easy to meet people from all walks of life, just to see their backstory, hear about it, see what they've done, any recommendations, tips, and anything that you'd normally just talk to a new person about really. It's so easy. I used it multiple times. Me and my friend Ben, we met some really great people out there. Transport wise, we always use an app called One2Go. It was simply brilliant because when you go on it, just like Hostel World, you can see ratings, prices, and how long it will be and what sort of transport you're going in. So you can have some sleeper buses. They're quite good fun. You go in for the night, obviously, sleeper bus, night bus, whatever you want to call it, self-explanatory, and they were really good. You could just try and get a good night's sleep, or just any sleep for that matter, or you get a minivan. Not as great, I'm not too tall, but that even felt a bit crammed. My 4th tip about traveling Southeast Asia is the food. I'm a massive foodie, you could probably see it. I've put on a little bit of weight when I've gone away, and I'm not surprised. I ate like an absolute king for 5 months straight. From the pad see ews and pad thais in Thailand to the nasi goreng in Indonesia. The food out there, especially the local food, is just exquisite. It is so tasty. So cheap as well, especially North Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. They're the cheapest places. And then South Thailand, Malaysia, South Korea, Indonesia, Philippines are getting a little bit more pricey, but still not a scratch on UK prices currently, especially at restaurants. And even if you don't want to delve into the local food, you just want to have a taste of home, like Chinese, Italian or Mexican, then it's just so cheap. It's like 50% off and you can be fed like a real king or queen for under £10. And that takes me on to my 5th and final point about what really stood out to me when travelling Southeast Asia, was just how cheap it was. I mean, on a shoestring budget, I spent roughly around £1,500 a month, and that wasn't holding back. That was hostels, transportation, activities, food, but your money out there really does go such a long way, and it really is just such a good feeling, because you might have thought that you spent a lot on a meal, you ordered a lot of food, and when in hostels you went for a more classy hostel, or maybe in a cheap hotel, thinking that it would cost £20-30 a night. But I stayed in some hotels in Vietnam for £15 a night, and they were easily 3 or 4 stars, really clean, spacious, and just really nice to refresh from the social side of it at times, because the social battery isn't always going to be 100%. It's perfectly fine to have a reset, go in a hotel, enjoy a bit of privacy, and then go back to the hostels a couple nights later. That is it for this video. The 5 big takeaways from my 5 months of traveling Southeast Asia. Let me know what you think of it. Did I miss anything out? Should I added some more things in? Should I go into depth with one a little bit more? Let me know in the comments below. A subscribe, a like and a comment would go such a long way, and I really hope that you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.